Hi, welcome to ICOformula, and this is the quick getting started guide to the ICOformula platform. So, if you're using a desktop and you've just logged in, you should see a screen a little bit like this. Over on the left-hand side, we have all the main menu. You can expand or collapse that as you need by clicking the burger menu button at the top there. First things first, we'll get you to your settings area. There's two ways you can get to it: from the person icon up here on the top right hand side, or if you expand the My ICOformula section down here and get to account and settings from there. Once you're on the account and settings page, you've got your account details, which will show you a method of sign up there, and then just below you've got settings. If you expand that, we have the option to change your display currency. So as you can see, we've got US dollars selected here, but literally just by clicking any of these radio buttons, you can change that to US dollars, to British pounds, euros, Chinese yuan, Bitcoin, or Ethereum, depending on your choice. Below that, we have the email notification settings. We have the daily agenda email. All of these are turned on by default, by the way. The daily agenda email, that'll send you, as the name would suggest, a daily email of all the new listings and changes and listings of tokens onto exchanges and so on and so forth as a general summary every day. We then have personalized email notifications for any ICOs that you have added to your favorites. So if you're following a particular ICO, you can add it to your favorites, which we'll cover in a moment, and you will get a separate email that just includes notifications on only the things that you're following. So you can afford to turn off the daily agenda mail, for example, but you'll still get notified about anything in your favorites, or in your portfolio for that matter as well. The third email notification that we do is a very useful one. It only goes out when any particular tokens or ICOs that you have favorited become listed onto a new exchange. So all too often when you've been partaking in an ICO, as listings start to happen, obviously you want to know when the first listing happens, but in many cases, the first listing that occurs is not necessarily the largest exchange or the exchange that you've used particularly. So whenever a new token starts to trade onto a new exchange, you'll get a notification as that happens. And then finally below that, we've got a setting for the guided tour. Now by default it's turned off, but you can come in here and turn it on simply by checking that there. And then if you scroll back up, you'll see that we've got part of the guided tour here. Now this is broken up into small snippets throughout each section of the site, and it's simple to scroll through left and right, and you can turn it on or off, or you can collapse it, or you can remove it altogether, which will take it back to this page and turn it off. So if you're on desktop view, you should have a screen a little bit like this. We've got the welcome guided tour turned on but reduced. You can expand that out in and out there as we showed earlier in the video. To get to the scoreboard, you've got a couple of options. You can use the top left-hand module of top scoring ICOs and hit the view all button, or the menu over on the left-hand side, go to scoreboard, and it will take you to the page with all of the ICOs ranked from highest to lowest in one view. Now, for demonstration purposes, we're going to use Gluon here at number 5. This was a recently added ICO. It came in at number 20, and it's been climbing over recent days, and it's now at number 5. The quick view will start there. If you hit the quick view button, it will pull up a little panel that gives you the abstract of the ICO and the project itself, what its rank is, and the relative score. We have different scores, which we'll cover shortly. Now, to add this as a favorite, you've got these icons down at the bottom here. Now, the first one, that adds it as a favorite, which will appear in your favorites list. And then the next icon as part of the organizer section, you can use to notify that you've been able to register on the whitelist OK. And to aid you further with tracking what you've done with ICOs that you're following, we also have the third icon there, which, if you've been able to get through to KYC or know your client process OK, check that and you know you've done it. To see your organizer at any point, from in this view, you can simply hit the View Organizer link there, and it will take you to the organizer page. You can also get to the organiser from the left-hand menu at any time you like. Just expand My ICO Formula, hit organiser, and it will take you to this page as well. Now, within the organiser itself, as you see, we've got the tabbed section at the top here, so you can see your list of favourites there. And then if you go to whitelist, the ones that you've been able to complete the whitelist on will appear here, and those with KYC, as you can see, that will appear there as well. To remove these, should you need to, hit the quick view again, and you can uncheck these like so, or add them back in again as you choose. Simple as that. To see more detail about a specific ICO from the scoreboard, if we go back there now, so let's say we want to look at Gluon in a bit more detail as to what this ranking and rating is about, and a bit more detail on the company. Hit the main body of the listing itself, and it will take you through to the detail page. So, as you can see in the top left-hand panel here, we've got the score itself. Now we've got the relative score. The relative score is essentially how the score that we've given a particular project in context and in relation to all of the other ICOs that we have listed within ICOformula itself. All too often on a lot of rating sites you'll see plenty of listings on them, but they mysteriously all rank, say, between 4.5 and 5 out of 5. Now they can't all be that great, and also it's not a lot of use if you've got a finite amount of funds, but you're looking for the best or most promising ICOs to partake in. So hence the reason for having a relative score. Gets it in context with the market conditions, what other ICOs are out there on the market, in the marketplace at the moment, that are options to consider. So to the second score on the right here, we have the independent score. Now at the top of the scoreboard, a lot of these independent and relative scores are going to be very similar, or not very far apart. But as you go further down, obviously, as a lot of the relative scores get lower and lower and lower, they have an independent score as well, which will basically, the way that's calculated is using a similar part of the algorithm, but basically what it does is it rates it in its own merits as opposed to taking everything else into account and context at the time. And also it provides a more balanced and fair way of rating and scoring for everything. The rest of the panels here at the top of the page on the details, fairly self-explanatory, as you'll see. Below that, then we have obviously the abstract about the company and the project itself. Got a link to the white paper below as well, and then various snippets and points about the offering itself. As we go to tab through these sections here, the calendar, that will tell you of up and coming events that you need to be aware of. If you've added it as a favorite, then that will be included in your favorites email, so that you know that if the crowd sale is starting in a couple of days or the following day, you know that you need to take care of that, and you're not going to be drowned by all the noise of all the others. The formula tab, that explains a little bit more about the score and how that's worked out, and how it's broken up and compiled from all the various different main key points of interest on any of the companies. The company page, it's obviously all the company details, all their main social profiles, website, also the team and the advisors, and so on and so forth. The social metrics, these are pulled in as we're able to acquire them, and displayed here, also with links to things like Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth for the companies in question. And then in the final tab, we have similar ICOs and tokens, and how and where they rank in relation to this. So, to add something to your portfolio, very simply, you've got a couple of options. You can go straight to your portfolio page using the portfolio icon up at the top right here, like so. Or from the home page, you can also go back to My ICOformula and go to My Portfolio option there. Now, we've already added some items into the portfolio, as you can see here. But let's say, for example, you want to add a new item. So let's say, for example, we've just gone out and bought some BNB or Binance coin. Simply go over to the top right hand side here to the Add Holding button, and it will give you the option to add an ICO or a token from within here. You can add ICOs if you're buying in at the pre-sale or crowd sale stage and customize the price and so on and so forth. But let's say, as I said, we picked up some Binance coin. There it is. So we can select that there. Today's date, you can adjust that if needs be. Let's say we've bought 100 of those. It'll automatically pre-populate the price for you, and simply hit add, and we're done. Don't need to add another one just yet, so we'll hit no there. And then if you scroll down, you can see that Binance coin is now here within the system, and clicking on it, it will bring it out and show you the details concerning your trade. Obviously, returns will start populating once the figures start coming through, and you can see all of the holding itself, and it will also show you a chart of your ROI, both in your native viewing currency and currency adjusted if your cross purpose is on there. You can remove it using the remove button, obviously. You can see more information and go to the listing itself directly there, and that will take you to the token detail page for Binance and all the details within. Anytime you need to come back to it, again, just come into the My Portfolio section, and here you are, and you can add and remove things as needs be and track all your holdings within ICOformula very easily from within. Don't forget to sign up to our social channels. We've got direct links here to Facebook. In the bottom left-hand corner here, we've got direct links to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And also, if you go into the My ICOformula section and expand that, we also have a link to our community in Telegram. Just hit that link, join the group, and feel free to chat away with us. It is a group chat, so we can reply to you, and you can ask us questions and so on and so forth. And also have a little experimentation with the ICOformula bot that we've created. We'll do a separate video on covering that. But yeah, please do follow all of our accounts and spread the word, as it were. And we're always appreciative of constructive feedback. Also, if you would like to make a suggestion within the app itself, you can do. If you go into accounts and settings again from here, and you wanted to suggest an ICO or a token listing, you can do over on the right hand side here. Simply type in your suggestion there. If you're recommending ICOs and things, please be quite detailed or specific about what you're referring to, because there's a lot of dual naming of things and tickers and stuff like that. A ticker symbol on its own isn't that helpful. So if you're able to drop in a URL to a website or details in a bit more depth, it is appreciated, and we'll see about getting it onto the system sooner rather than later. If you need to log out, you've got the logout button just over in the top right here. Also, if you'd like to search for something on ICOformula, you can do from anywhere within the app itself. We've got a little search function up here, and you can type in, so say for example you wanted to see Gluon in more detail, and just type that in there, and it'll take you straight to the detail page for Gluon in that case, where you can see all the detail that you need to see within there. We'll be expanding the series of videos on using ICOformula over the coming days and weeks, and we'll have a dedicated playlist on our YouTube channel where you can filter through and find the exact little bit of help you need if you're getting stuck with something, or of course reach out to us on our Telegram channel, and for online we'll help you there and then, or as soon as we see the message that comes through.